everyone, it's your art teacher Shanika Grimes. Today we will be looking at building on our knowledge of shapes and lines, and we'll also be looking a little bit at font design. So fonts are types of letters, so let's start and have some fun painting. Okay guys, we're gonna measure about 2/3 way up the side of our canvas for the height of our pineapple. Let's make a little dash so we can see where it's going to be, and halfway at the bottom. Now we're going to make a kind of an upside down U shape. Piece of it's missing at the side for our pineapple. Looking good. Ooh, that's a nice curved line. Now we're going to leave a little bit of space right there at the top for where those little leaf blades come out the top of the pineapple. So we'll just make a short dash. Alright, now we're going to use some diagonal lines. Diagonal lines kind of lean to the side a bit. These ones have a slight curve to them as well. So we're going to put those in. Alright. As you're curving, you'll notice that to make the point of the leaf, the two diagonal lines gradually go closer to each other. See how it forms a point on both ends? Alright. So every time we draw a leaf, another leaf emerges from the side of that previous leaf. Take your time and build your leaves all the way up to the top. It's looking so good. All right. I think that we are ready for some blue paint. So we're going to go with light blue again. And for this, we're going to use a little 1/2-inch brush. Actually, it's more of a 1-inch brush. So we're going to try to paint around our outline, and then we're going to swipe left and right for a nice smooth finish. So follow the curve at the side of your pineapple. Now we are going to fill the space swiftly with long left and right strokes. Take your time and do this properly. Watch me. Left, right, left, right. Left, right, left, right. The more paint you have on the tip of your brush, the smoother, not too much paint. You just need that right amount. You don't want to have too much paint on the brush or too little. Remember to paint the sides. Everything you do on your canvas, you want it to look and feel finished. So take your time with your strokes, and also be sure to wrap your painting around the side. Take your time with those left and right strokes. I'm usually thinking something to myself like, do, 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 do. Yes. Happy thoughts. We're almost there. Painting can be so relaxing. And we're going to get better at these finishes because some of these steps were repeated in our previous 2 videos. Let's see what the kids are doing. Alright, so they're still on their drawings, making the most of that. And they're really taking their time to make sure that their drawings are perfected. So using the chalk, they can easily wipe off any mistakes, and they're certainly putting a lot of effort into correcting their mistakes, which is a good thing. Looking so good, guys. All right, we're back, and I'm just going in between those leaves with wherever their background space is and filling them in. I'm going to make sure my work is as tidy as possible so that I don't have too much cleaning up to do later. Remember, haste makes waste, so do take your time. And I'm going to scrub another coat of blue where I see some white spots to make sure that I have the smooth graphic finish that is desired. Nice. Left and right motions all the time. Don't forget your signs. All right. I'm really spreading down my side, making sure it's tidy, making sure that it's really nice and smooth. Okay, that's enough blue. We're going to move on to yellow. So I'm just opening up yellow after I wash my brush. You need a very clean brush for yellow. Alright, now we have it. Alright, so we're still washing because yellow is a very sensitive color. Now we have our yellow. Yellow is my color of happiness. And I do love sunflowers and pineapples and everything that looks tropical and happy. So now we want to spread a nice coat of yellow all the way through our happy pineapple for yellow happiness. Don't forget the sides, so wherever the object wraps around the canvas, you want to follow it with your paint. You want to be very strict about this. I'm actually kind of going up and down on my pineapple. I guess that's a better motion for the shape of my pineapple. And then I tend to go more left and right on backgrounds. Yes, because in following that curve, I do have to make a downward stroke. So it probably feels a little better coming up and down instead of left and right for this part of the painting. So you need to just make yourself comfortable and make sure that you are maintaining one particular direction. Texture is good sometimes, but for this style of painting, not so much. All right. We're looking great. Yeah. Ooh, make sure that everything is swell. Everything is tidy. All right. I think that's enough yellow. So we're going to wash that out. We're going to make it really nice and clean. And we have the green to do next. We are going to paint our lovely little leaves green. And you're going to choose the appropriate brush size that makes you feel comfortable. Don't go ahead and use a brush that's too clumsy and big for the space. And also, don't use a brush that's too small that is going to take you forever. So we need a nice in-between, you know? But always go with the smaller brush if you find that you're a bit clumsy about your painting, because you tend to make less mistakes if you have a smaller brush and less paint. So I'm following the edge lines of the chalk to show me the shape of the leaf, and then I'm filling in. I tend to follow this procedure for most things that I want to be tidy. All right. It's looking so good. Concentrate. And don't be afraid of simple themes. I know people have a lot of wow, overnight success painting stories, but you want to get outside of your comfort zone and really push the basics. Once you have committed the basics and have good practices, then you can do more advanced techniques, right? So you got to learn the rules before you break them. Your basic shapes, your simple colors, simple techniques will really help you to refine more complex paintings. Beautiful. Really focusing on the edges of those leaves. I see some shapes. A nice oval. Those leaves kind of look like a few little triangles bunched up together. I can't wait till we get to the zigzag lines as well in the background. Soon. Alright, I'm going really, really specific with my smallest brush, and I'm making sure to get as tight on the chalk lines as possible. Alright, that's looking pretty great. Let's wash out that brush. Yeah! And we're loading! Let's take a play break.
Simon says run around in a circle.
You can still do this. I'll play with the trampoline. So don't do bad.
Simon says jump up and down.
Don't. Simon said jump up and down. I'm jumping.
Simon says wiggle your body. Simon says sit down. Simon says stand up and clap your hands. Simon says run and hug someone.
Back to work, kids. Ooh, you've gotten so far on your paintings. And we're following some good principles. These are looking rather tidy. Wow. I cannot wait to see how these turn out. I can see that you guys are really taking your time to make your paintings nice. All the little head twists and bodily twists that you have to put into getting the perfect painting. It's really an art of patience. It will teach you some emotional maturity as well, accepting mistakes, learning from them. I think that these are just going to be wonderful, wonderful works of art. And we're back. Okay, I am refining my blue background. So sometimes things require a decision about a second coat. You need to be happy about making this choice. You want your work to be as awesome and as amazing as you can manage at this point. So do not hold back. Give it as much coats as it needs so that it looks like it was on purpose. All right? Good. It's looking nice. I'm so proud of you guys. We're getting so far in this painting. Do not hold back now. Do not hold back. Keep it awesome. Keep it awesome. Wonderful. Wonderful work, guys. See what happens when you persist? You can make a simple accent painting look so nice. No, that is good. That's enough blue. So we're going to wash our brush out and we have to do some more diagonal lines. We talk a lot about diagonal lines in this painting. And I just want to reference the elements of design and our use of lines. I'm going to touch up the green first. Just a little bit more. And then we are going to go on to those diagonal lines that are making the texture on the yellow part of your pineapple. So I just want to give my green that extra wow. And I do love to go back and touch things up. Woo! Looking good. So now I have my smallest brush again. And I'm gonna go to brown. Alright. And I want to draw some diagonal lines. Coming from the left, going to my right. And I'm not going to make them too straight. I think I deliberately put a slight curve in some of them to give the pineapple that extra rounding. The power of simple lines. So our diagonal lines need to be extra tidy. Try to keep the spacing not too even because it's a natural specimen we're looking at. But average the same size. Don't have any extremely tight spaces. All right. You see my slight curve? So a curve can go on a diagonal too. Diagonal lines are lines that slant. They can slant left or right. They're part of the variety of lines that you use in your art. Very good. Alright, I'm just making sure my lines are tidy and that they flow well. Good job. Wow. I'm having a little dance like boom. So I'm just putting a second coat on some of my lines that were a little bit hazy. So I'm going to second coat these all the way through any little spaces I see, because I'm very proud of my work. No matter how simple it is, I put my best effort into everything I do, and I want that for you as well. Your personal standard needs to be developed. All right. I'm almost finished. The ones going this direction, and then we're going to have some going the other direction. I'm really getting in there, making sure it's super nice. All right, wonderful. We're going for the ones the other way. So I'm just gonna find a spot to start them. That looks pretty even. Woo! It's all coming together now. It's gonna come together. Ooh! It looks like a little net, kind of. This abstract pineapple. Ooh, see what that slight curve does? It kind of just helps to round my pineapple a bit more. And it gives it a slightly better feel than my first attempt. So when I paint things multiple times, I'm always looking for a way to enhance. So if you see a way to enhance your work, don't hold back. Don't hold back. All right. It's looking pretty cool. Just take your time. Let your mind go into the painting. It's important that you're really very focused. You have a clean brush and you have clean hands, and you're mostly loading the tip of the brush while you're detailing. You don't want to get all sloppy and be pressing into the brush very hard. That's poor technique. You want to focus on the tip of the brush when you are detailing. Very good. Ooh. And I'm just going to give this a nice brown edge line. It wasn't there in the first one, but as I said, I make new decisions that I think will enhance my work when it's done multiple times. So if at any point you are dissatisfied with your results, acrylic paint, when dry, can be amended or touched up, so to speak. So you can put back a little touch of blue if the brown went over the side. You can, for yellow to be corrected, you will need to put a touch of white first, because it's very difficult to get other colors off such a light color like yellow. So you might need to put a little bit of white first if you make any mistakes. All right? Ooh. Okay. Next on the menu. Right here is going to be, I couldn't wait for this moment, my magenta zigzag lines. You can use blue alternately if you feel as though pink isn't quite your color, because this is just a deep pink. So if you have a color preference, you're free to make another choice. And zigzag lines are another line type. These are used for all kinds of things, to make patterns. They can be used for like the impression of a zipper. So you can think about different ways in which you see zigzag lines in nature. Or even in some geometrical situations, like some graph lines can have a zigzag shape. Right, so with your choice color, you can do a few rows of zigzags. They're not going to be, or they don't have to be the exact amount and size that I have. Yours might end up smaller or bigger, and that's quite fine. Because as you can see from my first variation, I changed the spacing quite a bit. Okay, so I switched to purple. I think purple is a nice color. Okay, so you really want to focus on getting your up and down motions to match back. Otherwise, it's going to look a little crazy. You see how my pointy parts all kind of go into each other, and my downward parts kind of like point down into each other? You want to attempt something like that. Okay, I'm just wrapping around the sides. Sorry for blocking you there. Alright, so every time you start a new zigzag line, you want to make sure they kind of link into each other like that. Very simple. Very simple and nice. Alright, this is the last zig and zag. Make it tidy. I'm going back over my stroke to make sure that it's pretty consistent. And I'm always wrapping around the edge of the painting so it looks like, woo, it's finished. It's finished. Well, it's not quite finished, but the painting looks finished when it's finished, which isn't right now. Okay. So we're looking to do some detailing work. We have to really refine our painting at this point and make sure it's super duper nice. All right. So we are going to draw some tiny. This is a beige color, the kind of tan color, dashes at the lower left side of each little diamond shape. Can you see what I'm doing? Take your time, and you leave a little space just before the brown line. And you're only doing it on the left side to give your pineapple a little dimension, to make it look a little bit more exciting. All right. Always do a little dance and celebrate yourselves. Now, we are going to tidy up. I'm tidying up a little edge of brown that I saw there that wasn't quite done. Yay! Looking good, looking good. So now we are just looking at our finishes. Okay, so there's a little tiny line following the curve at the edge of our leaves with this blue accent. It kind of helps to separate the leaves so they don't look like one clump of green. All right, that was quick. Just follow that upper edge of each leaf. Ooh, yeah. I'm just adding this nice darker blue shadow down the side of the pineapple's curve. So this is next to the pineapple and it's coming all the way around and wrapping. You want to be sure to, what I like to do is put down a thin coat first and then sharpen just on the inner edge of that shadow. So it's not going to be the same weight right through. You do a thin coat and then you make the inner side a little darker. Yay! That's looking fabulous. Now we're just getting a little bit more yellow, and I saw some little patches, like little white dots that were bothering me, so I'm just going to tidy those, and then I'm going to follow the edge, the outer edge, like the back of the leaf, with a yellow, very thin yellow line. You don't want this to be too heavy. And you take it from the base all the way up to the point of each leaf. What an accent. Okay, so I am washing out my brush. And now we're on to white. So I'm going to add on the inner curve a nice sharp edge of white paint. This is really going to make those leaves pop out. It just adds to this nice, very abstract painting of a pineapple. Voila. We have a little bit more work to do in white. There's some tiny white squares on the right side, the top right of each little diamond. So we want to put those in. Just draw a tiny little square and fill it in on the right top of each little diamond shape. Alright, so we're going to do that till about halfway. Half of the diagonal kind of shape. See? And this is just adding some more accents to the pineapple to make it look more interesting. I'm just taking my time, drawing those tiny squares, and then filling them in. Fill them in. Make them look cute. Make them look fancy. You're a real painter. You are the artist. You're the greatest artist of all time. That's how you need to feel about yourself. That's how most of us feel about ourselves, right? So keep drawing in those little squares until you get approximately halfway. Having a peep at my painting. I just need a few more down there at the bottom right. And I'm going to put in my words with chalk first. It's always good if you're doing something precise to use chalk first or a pencil. So I'm just writing that in, dotting in my dots so that I can just follow using the white paint and my smallest, absolute smallest size 0 brush. If you don't have a size 0 brush, once you have a brush that forms a point, you can do this too. So you're only loading the pointiest part of the brush. You do not need to press into the brush. Hold your brush like a little pencil and just write in those words. This font has a little curve to it, so it's a little bit more festive, and I think it's in theme with what it's saying. Live, have a good time, pineapples, fun. So the type of font chosen usually helps to deliver the message that it's speaking to. So I chose this lightly cursive, fun font with a little heart accent on the I. You can make up your own font too. Just going over my little dots. Very good. Very, very good. And then I'm giving the white a second coat to make sure it's as smooth as possible. You may have to coat your white maybe twice, maybe 3 times depending on how watery it is. And that will give you a nice tidy finish. Painting my little heart. Yay! I'm done. I'm done, I'm done, I'm done. I just need to paint in my little branding. Artist made. Put in my little logo. Alright. Boom. You can put your initials, or you can make a logo up for yourself too. Yay! We're awesome. Awesome. Woo. We really worked hard, guys. Thank you so much, and I will see you in our next video. Don't forget to email me your photos. All right, bye.